failing our athletes, annoying the refs, and living proof that there's no such thing as a stupid question. Unless we're the ones asking it. From game highlights, to hot takes, to totally unqualified opinions. We're bringing the BS Booster Style!
Welcome to episode 143 of the BEBC
BS.
There we go again with that high
Charlotte,
falsetto guy from last week. Hey, we've got a full table this
Full
morning.
house.
We have guests.
Yay! Love it.
We have, since it's football off week, we have the Brain Trust. I'm in your way. I got to get out of your way so people can see.
Or he needs to scoot up.
Brain Trust of the Allen Eagle basketball program.
Or get in a booster chair.
I was thinking. I wasn't going to say it. It was too early. I was thinking it, but
saying all the things
you
the
can
other
hit him
coaches
again.
don't dare.
I got nubbed.
Guys, welcome. We're actually doing this when we should be doing it every year before the season starts, so to speak. I know y'all are practicing and you actually got games today, but before the numbers actually start counting. So thank you for coming out, because we're going to talk basketball after we clear up a little bit of football stuff. It's not long stuff. Just so we keep. Is there a mosquito flying around? Yeah, I had the door open earlier.
Why don't you use your other hand?
that's a good one there.
Just wait for it to land
That's a good one.
Smack!
We're going to have to separate.
Stop
these
looking at
two.
fart videos and Google up better jokes.
That was pretty funny.
No, stop. Be nice to our guests. They won't come back. And don't say that's
They
what you
keep
want.
coming back anyway. So.
It's like that damn mosquito.
I lost my pen. Where's my pen? There, my pen. Sorry about that. 143rd game in the history of Allen Eagle football. I don't know if y'all been listening to this, but ever since we ran out of, because we used to do players' numbers, when we got to 100, there's no numbers, so we started going to the history of Allen Eagle football. 143rd game, 1974. Last week they beat Salina 7-6.
Yeah,
in a non-district
barn
game.
burn.
Yeah.
All right, here, you just got to think about this, because you got to remember the town they're playing and the town now, as opposed to, what is that, 26,
smaller.
51 years ago now.
Yeah.
They
3A?
played,
3A? Where are we?
they were 1A, 15-1A.
Wow.
They played Howe.
Oh my!
Now think about
That's
Howe.
crazy.
Howe is what?
It's.
They had one store and a trailer.
2A, 3A now?
Now they have
3A?
two.
I think they're two. Yeah,
they
they're
have
two or
two
three.
stores.
Right.
And they beat Howe 35-0 to go to 3-2 on the year. So congratulations!
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Well, and look, next week they play Royce City.
Well, half the football players were probably doing a farm workout on the.
You're
Well,
exactly
you know,
right.
Yeah.
They used to have to pull up the
Hay baling
cars to the
season.
field and turn the
turn the
lights
lights
on because
on.
they didn't have lights.
Exactly right.
Six
Right over
man
there
football,
off of, yeah, it was right over there off of like Maine, McDermott, over in that area.
Before your time.
Yeah, 4 months, way before.
So
It
the
was before my time for the record.
143rd victory in the history of Allen Eagle football,
Scoot up to the
when they
80s.
moved to 5-4A in 1986. Were y'all alive in 86?
I was
Y'all weren't
4.
alive in 86. Were you?
I was 4.
Oh my God! I'm
These
old.
three were not alive in 1986. Holy moly, we're getting old. All right, the Eagles came in at 7-2 on the year, having beat Justin Northwest last week 31-3. Oh, just listen to this district, by the way. I'm going to go back for y'all. McKinney, Fort Worth, Boswell, Gainesville, the Colony, Justin Northwest, and then the last district game of the year, it's the 10th game of the year, they played Denison.
Northwest makes
Think
sense.
about
That
that.
Justin
Rural-
Northwest. That's a haul back
Rural
then.
district.
It's
Y'all are
a
still
haul now.
thinking like that's still not nothing compared to y'all's
Yeah.
district.
Yeah.
Like, those are short drives.
They beat Denison 7-0 to go to 8-2 on the year, 4-2 in district, and they get ready for playoffs next week. So we'll talk about that, or y'all will talk about that.
Yeah,
next
we'll
week.
talk about that.
I will not be here next week, but these clowns are going to do it without me. So we'll see how that goes.
The Princeton game is bound to be memorable.
It ain't gonna be
Yeah.
pretty.
Speaking of Princeton beats McKinney last night 30-21. Prosper
Destroyed.
beat
Destroyed.
Rock Hill 72-6.
Yeah.
Thanks. Plano East. This is their first victory of the year. Professor Diggs, congratulations to you.
Over Plano.
No,
The wind
boy,
beneath his wings.
Boy, that's right.
27-22 in a kind of surprising game because I didn't know which way it was going to go. Plano West goes to 4-1 or 5-1 on the
Man,
year.
they
I
went
think
hard on Plano. Man.
Yeah.
35-14 over Plano.
After going 0 for last year.
Yeah, so they have, they're riding high and they get a snoot full of
It's
Allen here in a
that
couple
dead
weeks.
cat bounce off of last year.
So this week, games coming up. Plano goes to Prosper. McKinney goes to Plano West. Rock Hill at Boyd to stay out of the cellar. And then Allen travels to Princeton in their itty-bitty stadium. So if you're going to go, get there early. No, get there late.
Yeah.
But good luck finding parking.
And bring your chairs, because you're going to need them.
That ought to be interesting to see. They did add seats up there.
Yeah.
Closed in one end of the end zone, but parking's still an issue. So good luck for those of you going to the game. All right, we get to talk basketball because now this is fun.
Yay.
But before we go looking forward, we need to look back because we did not do it's so
Didn't do a
hard.
wrap up. Not a good wrap up.
When you don't win state, you're like, I don't know how y'all feel, but we're like, oh. And then like you really want to talk about it with them because you don't know where y'all's minds are and where the kids' minds are, and so you just like, just let it go and we'll move on. But I do want to go back and talk about what was a fantastic season
Yeah.
for you guys and your basketball team and the kids and the community, which got on board, I will say, finally. Sure. It took a little while, but we'll take bandwagoners or whatever. Well, just show up.
Take them all.
Take them all. You can't be picky about who shows up. But a season in which you went 33-2, not including the games at the Throne, but 33-2. You won every district game by at least 14 points, and you really only had until you got to the last game. You really only had one close call in the playoffs. Your North Crowley game. So for you guys, before we get everywhere else, how was it? What did it feel like?
You do a lot of self-reflection afterwards, and obviously, the goal is to win it all. And when you're sitting there thinking about it, you can look back on this play or this moment. But I had a piece about it, and I don't like losing. I would much rather have a championship. I think the group deserved that. They did everything right to be state champions. But as I self-reflect, I'm so grateful to have been a part of such an amazing group of kids and such an amazing run, and just our story didn't end the way we wanted it to, but to get to just share those moments and the journey we got to experience, that really outweighs that one game that just didn't go our way. So I'm grateful for every moment of it and have no regrets. We just I'm just, like you said, overly blessed. I got to experience that with such a special group, and got to see those kids on, and I know they're going to do amazing things after they leave us, so it does stink, but once again, it helps a little bit when you experience something like that with such a unique group. So,
And follow on with that. What did you guys do with the kids to kind of memorialize the season and close it down? And this would go to all of the coaches,
Yeah.
you first, and then.
well, when we got invited to the Throne, you're still playing. So
Right.
that helps a little bit because there's still basketball to look forward to. So as you're feeling really bad
And made quite an impression, I
We
might
did.
add.
Yeah.
up there.
So, you still had some basketball left, so it was a little bit easier to swallow that because you knew our journey together was still going to
Still had
continue.
them at practice. You still had
I
them in
always
the
told them after
period.
every game in the playoffs, hey, I'm so excited that I get to coach you for one more day, or I get to coach you for one more practice.
Nice.
And that's what the whole season was about. I just want one more day with you guys. I want one more game with you guys. And eventually that was going to end somewhere, and once it did end, I was so grateful to have another 2 or 3 weeks with those guys because we got to gear up for the Throne. So if it made any consolation,
And tell
like
everybody,
having that-
what's the Throne?
the Throne's the national championship that public high schools get invited to. They took the top 8 public high schools in the country.
New Jersey, went to New
Went to
Jersey.
New Jersey and played what they quote unquote the top 8 high schools.
Nice.
There's schools from New York, school from New Jersey, school
California,
from California,
Georgia,
Virginia,
state
just all over the
champions.
state.
Nice.
Yeah.
Most were state champions, 2 from Texas, us and Brendan.
Yeah.
And they put us in an 18 bracket, and we ended up going to the finals and lost by 3 to the national champions. So just to get, once again, that type of group, they're just winners. And
all 3 of those losses throughout the year by 3 points.
Yeah.
I do think that Throne, there was because it's about a month after state, and there was like this lingering, because we'd be around the guys, and there was just this lingering like sadness almost. But nobody talked about it. Nobody ever discussed it. I do think that last day of the Throne, like, we did lose, and we were sad we lost because we were right there. But I think it was more like,
It's like that culmination.
like this special, like, man, this was like a crazy, like, journey. And
then
like
we went to the food court and all sat and ate and everything, and it was like you would have thought we won, like, because of their, like, I mean, they were sad that they lost, but just that was that team, like,
They loved each other.
and they loved being around each other, and like it made that was the biggest thing for me. Is like it wasn't, I guess you wanted to win, but it was the thought of like you don't see those guys every single day. You don't get to like, and they've been with us for so long, and you know it was it was different, and like that's what I know. I told them when we circled up and after Tip had talked there, it was like, you know, people think like you lost, but like what they did, like for me, as an Allen resident forever, like just what they did was just so special. And it was, a lot of it was not necessarily on the court. It was just the way they carried themselves. We have principals and teachers talk about like just how great of kids that they are, like to others, like they're just listening. I mean, they weren't perfect, they're still kids, but just they were like, if you talk, they were just good people. And that was that was the like the, I guess, the saddest. I think for them too, because after the season's over, you know, there's no practice, but we still have our period, and a lot of times seniors, you know, you don't really see them through it. They are there like still when we're closing down that open gym afterwards, we're like, guys, like, come on, we have families, we need to go, like, and so like, and that was different. So like that was the just kind of the
From a basketball standpoint, I look back, you know, people ask me about that season, like the one word that comes to mind is actually unforgettable, just because that group was so, you know, we have all these college coaches coming in to watch guys and stuff. Like, we didn't have a single guy that had really any stars next to his name. I mean, we didn't have anybody that was nationally recognized. Like, we even came into that national tournament, they pointed us the underdogs. And and we're this, you know, team of players. Like, we got to it was all public schools except for the team we played in the championship, who was a bona fide prep school all-star. You know, Carmelo Anthony's son was on the team. They had starting 5 and bench. I mean, they had like a 6'11", 7-footer coming off the bench, like 2 of them, and they're all going high. I mean, they're going Penn State, Syracuse. I mean, it's just ridiculous, the amount of size and talent. We watched them in the semifinals the night before just dismantle San Antonio Brennan, and we're like, it's halftime, we're like, y'all want to go eat? Like, we're about to play some monsters, but to see the collective like fight back that they had in that game, I was moved to tears to watch our team play, because you just knew they didn't give up, and I mean, dude's got one hand, you know, Antoine or whatever, Tony, he's playing with one hand. Like, it's just, Neo's got blood, like, running across his face, and you're taping each other up, and it's just like, these guys were warriors. So, yeah, it was an unforgettable season, and, you know, what it did for the community, too, like, just to see how they got behind us, that felt pretty special. And you asked how did we wrap it up, too, and we went to, little sponsor plug, we went to the Hub after and had our kind of end of the year deal there, where we got to sit on the stage and everybody got to, you know, share moments from the season. I thought that was really cool, just getting to hear what the guys
These are
said.
2 cool moments. I haven't shared much. One we shared at the end, but there was this moment where on the last day, like, they're shooting around and there's like a little kid like watching and mesmerized, and the ball hits the kid in the head. And I mean, the kid is losing. He's 4 or 5 years old maybe, and the kid is losing it. And it's already kind of like the coaches are kind of quiet already, because we know like this is the last day. And I'm sitting there watching, and like all the kids go over and like fist bump the kid, and the kid is like, I mean, done crying, as joyful as ever, and
We get
it
that
almost
way
makes
when
me
they do it to us. Too.
Yeah, because
and
the practice court for that was like literally in the middle of the mall, like with just like a little temporary barrier. And so like people who are shopping just stop and are watching them like warm up and stuff. And that one.
What a weird environment.
I know.
It was awesome though.
It was the
It
coolest.
was
super cool.
Well, and then no one knew us, like what they're saying, like, and so all these people are asking, they're like, "Where y'all from?" We're like, "Al," and they're like,
It's all these New Yorkers.
"That's is it Kyler Murray?" And we're like, "Yeah," and they're asking, and like the Virginia team, like 4 consecutive state championships, like the Virginia Player of the Year and all that, and like our kids they didn't care. Like I used to always joke and say we could say, "Hey, we're playing the Mavs tomorrow night," and they're like, "Ooh, the Mavs are fixing to get whooped," like because they had that much belief in each other, and they knew they would do whatever it took, like for each other.
There
like,
are a few
to be
seasons the
successful.
Mavs have that would actually be the case.
You had a second point?
Yeah, so
Oh,
this was, I haven't shared this much, but after the game, Neo was cut up pretty bad. Like, I had to go get stitches. So when the team went to the locker room, I grabbed Neo and wanted to take him to the emergency place and in there. And we're walking out, and it's chaos outside. Like, it is. And Melo's there, and there's security all surrounding him the whole day. And he steps out and goes to Neo and daps him up. Sorry.
Yep.
He daps him up or whatever and says something. I was still out of it, but and asked Neo for a picture.
Oh, did he really?
A Hall of Famer, got to pit. And Neo's just bloody, and Neo walked away, and I looked at him, and Neo's crying because he's sad, but then he looks up at me and he's like, "I guess I'm like that, coach." And
That's so Neo.
and it was
That's
the most
Neo
Neo
right
thing
there.
ever. But it was that was the coolest moment to see.
It made me feel so good because Melo came into our locker room, no cameras. Like our guy was in there recording. We didn't realize that, but because Dylan Matlock Reed's dad played against him, and then now the kids were playing, and so they said he wanted to meet and come talk. And he comes in there, and he could have just said, "Hey, good job, guys," and left. But he talks for 2 or 3 minutes, deep, "Hey, man, y'all, we ain't seen nothing like that. Y'all went toe to toe with the best team in the and just it was. I was like, wow, that was. And then the whole time I'm like, man, G and Neo didn't. I was like, I felt so bad, and I went up and said something after. He goes, "Oh, he came up to." I was like, "Oh, that's way better." Y'all, he personally went to that was.
Yeah.
But that's so many of those people there would come to us and talk about our kids and how hard they played and how much of a team they were together, and then just interacting with them, and that's when state championship or not, it's we won because what they did, that stuff, which makes it feel a little better.
For those of us who watched it, I think I watched every game. Just to listen to the announcers as the games went on.
Mm-hmm. Those were fun listening to those people.
They got a lot of
just their
They were getting
thought,
more
good
enamored,
and bad.
more
I mean,
enamored with
when they
the
don't
team.
know you,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, and they're like,
we're still here.
yeah, and they're like,
If he goes
Oh.
off like he did on that last game, boy, it's
Yeah.
going to be a fun
Yeah.
game.
when Trent and DJ start doing their thing, and they're like, whoa, they realize, okay, wait a minute, this, because honestly, if looking from the outside, anybody, again, they don't know Allen, but they knew Brennan, and so Brennan was going to be the team.
They know Allen, but not
Well,
from a basketball
From a
standpoint.
basketball standpoint. So it was cool to see from a fan's perspective, like you say, to see those kids get the recognition that they so rightfully deserve.
Oh, big time deserved.
Yeah.
Big time deserved.
Yeah. So I want to go back to the season again. And so, is there a favorite game or a point in the season, a play that when you look at it individually that stands out to you? I've got one in mind. I know what mine is.
Oh, I know what mine is.
If I'm just a fan, there's one play, DJ's baseline dunk.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just pause and was like, wow. I'll just look back.
Wasn't
at
Romo
it,
at that game? Was that the one?
No,
No,
was
Romo was
different
at the
Braswell.
Braswell game.
There was too many good moments.
Yeah.
I need to
That
point out a
That
game
one,
where
the whole crowd went freaking
Yeah.
That was
nuts.
so loud. That was crazy.
Namdi's lob
Neil's
against
block.
Mark.
Yeah,
Neil's
Neil's
block. Neil's block.
That's mine right there.
I
literally
so
looked
many,
at-
it's hard to pick one.
I looked at Mark after he did that, and I said, I could die a happy
Dynamic
man
prep.
now.
The Twins, I was thinking,
that
was it North
played-
Crowley?
Oh, yeah.
But that was true too. The Twins like going back and forth, like it was just like Tony
Shot.
O'Connor
Basket
and
after
each one. Like
Yeah,
that was the coolest. what was that
Tell
one?
him. That
was
this is
the
actually
one- I remember
one of
that.
my favorite
the
plays.
best play I've ever seen.
Antoine Shannon, like he actually just tried to call me.
You should have put him on.
He
Call him back.
oh my god, they're playing actually this week. Kilgore,
Coach, I got
Cade
this
Myers, Antoine Antonio all playing this week in Oklahoma. But he dives out of bounds. He basically steals the ball, dives out of bounds, like full out to save a ball from going out. Gets up in the play, and someone else got it, like Neo or somebody sped up the floor and shoots a layup, and he sprints, gets up and sprints, and tip slams the dunk.
Comes out of
Like out of nowhere.
And
That's the
against
best play I've
Dynamic
ever
Prep,
seen.
who's, they literally were the number 2 team in the country.
Yeah.
And all, again, prep school, like everybody going everywhere. We beat them. That was early in the season last year. Jermaine O'Neal's team. They're so talented.
Yep.
And, that play, and then also the Marcus first play of the game, when we just steal
The
it from him and go lay it up. It was like,
Yeah.
oh boy.
That one was a good one. Yeah, because that kid got it and he turns around all
Kinda
nonchalant.
casual,
And Antonio steals
gone.
it, dunk it. It was like it was on from then.
Yeah.
It was on with not only the team but with the coaches and everybody else.
I actually randomly watched that game 2 days ago. I don't know
Did you
why.
hear us cuss?
No.
Because it didn't happen.
I'll watch it on.
But according to their
Saturday.
coaches, we did.
What would you say your favorite as a head coach? Like your favorite game?
Favorite game? I don't have one. The dynamic was really cool,
Yeah,
just
for sure.
because of the whole prep school versus high school. And
Yeah.
we're trying to protect the holism of
The
high
integrity
school.
of high school
Yeah.
basketball.
You will not be
And-
intimidated.
And that we will play anybody, anytime, anywhere. And
Yeah.
just because you have more stars or whatever it is, like I feel like culture and togetherness, like
things
the
we
group that
teach,
we put together can beat anybody any given time. And to be able to do that is a really difficult one. But just have a group that could. What do we go 6-1 against those type of
Prep,
schools?
prep schools.
So just to show people that high school basketball, public school basketball, is still at a really good spot. And kind of a cool thing, after that game, we probably had 30 to 40 high school coaches text us and just say thank you for winning that game. Literally, still to this day, we'll have people say thank you for what you did for high school.
A lot of people don't realize how
public
much
school.
top basketball players are leaving for prep schools.
Well,
these
yeah.
days.
Yeah.
And football is a little different because, like, high school, public high school football still is pretty much, here. I mean, there's a few here and there that exists in California and Florida, but, like, basketball is different right now.
Pop up all the
There's
time.
a separation happening just because the rules are different and, like, you can do some different things. And so when those public schools, like little Frisco schools, get poached, that's why they were grateful, because it was like, man, every year I'm trying to keep my top players.
Well, the cool thing with it too with that group is like they all grew up here, like in middle school, with the exception of DJ. But he moved here as a freshman, like they were homegrown, like they
Invested in each other.
and that's why I think you saw the care, because they knew each other. I mean, they knew each other from middle school. They played with each other for so long that they truly cared that much about it. Whereas you get some of those other ones where it's like kids for here, there, and then it's like you can't form that. You got a lot of talent, but just the intangibles.
So, start of the season last year, did you anticipate, or did you? I know you probably thought, okay, maybe. Did you think it was going to be what it ended up being?
No, 100%.
Yeah.
I knew
we
this
all
group
knew.
was just had something special, and it really went to the summer TABC stuff as we started playing together, and even in some of the fall shootouts. And getting to be with them every day, I saw a sense of the 2 years before that, because I had Trent on varsity for 4 years, and everybody else pretty much as sophomores on.
Sure.
So I knew like each year they got to experience something else. And they had just a greater understanding of what winning looked like and what it took to win. So I knew, like, by the time they got seniors, I saw a shift in their mindset, more mature, and how they approached every day, on how just the attention to details. So once I saw that maturity level, I was like, oh, like, this group has something special. They just had what it took. They knew how to play together. They knew how to play the right way. They had unbelievable toughness. So I knew like we could do something special. It was just a rare.
It was exciting because I remember after the year before, after we lost to East, and when we were coming back and we're, picking up the gear and stuff, a bunch of them were still kind of sitting in there. And the twins specifically, like Neo and Trent, they were just like, we can't, like, no, next year, like, they were already like, no. It, like, next season started right then, and they're like, we're not, like, we're not going out. Like,
and they took it out on East 2 times.
How satisfying was that?
That's got to be
get
one
back
of
at East like that.
One of the games that we definitely look back
for
on.
sure.
We're like,
the one at East especially.
Yeah, I mean, they knocked you out of
last
playoffs.
season,
20-0 run.
They didn't just knock us out of playoffs. They embarrassed. They beat the snot out of us in front of a huge crowd.
Yeah,
probably one of the biggest crowds like of any playoff game in the state of Texas. And they beat us the first game of the year 2 years ago.
The first
in a
and
game
last.
that like we felt like we had.
yeah.
We had the
we
lead
were
for most of the game.
They were number one all year.
Yeah.
They win state. And then we're like, all right, cool, we get to play these guys, and we got the guys now. And I mean, it was not even close at their place, and that was a great feeling.
What was great is at one point, all their coaches just sat down and put their hands, sat on their hands.
That was very
They couldn't.
It was a breaking point.
And I think, for me, that was the game last year that I'm going, there's something here.
Yeah.
And you have what I'll call quiet anticipation of something very exciting, and you want to kind of temper that because they're still kids.
Yeah, pressures and
things happen, and knock on wood, you got through the season without a whole lot of bad injuries.
Absolutely.
And
very blessed.
It's just one of those seasons. I want to ask you, because you were here in 17 when they won it all, and just the difference between the two teams. And they didn't win it all last year, but just the whole experience.
It's funny you mention that because Jalen Scott, who's now at Curtis, I have his sister in one of my classes, and her and her friend were looking at a picture, schedule poster from last year, and then there's one from that year, and we were talking about it. And I was saying that, they were very similar in that they didn't have any big names, the stars, but they grew up together. And I even mentioned it to them throughout the year, like they grew up together and they wanted to win for each other so much when they cared about each other. They didn't care if it was Jarrett one night, getting 18 points and, they had, 4, as long as they were winning. And then just the different things they did. And this team, they were very similar like that, but they had a little bit more talent to go with it. But still, it was that they were very similar. And then the unknowns, the like unselfish. And then you see that, like we talked about with the public and the prep schools, kids nowadays, a lot of kids, I'll go somewhere and, we'll be decent, but man, I'm playing the whole game. I'm getting 25, 30 points a game. Like, I'm getting mine. Cool. Like, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Where these, our first three off the bench, all playing college basketball, would have started on any other team in the state.
Yeah.
But they didn't care because they knew, like, because there would be games where it was their chance. And then our starter, whoever started that game, when they would come out, they knew, like, hey, DJ comes out, Dozier, he's going to hold it down. So, like, just that care and just the true belief in each other, they were very, very similar from that aspect. But
I think this team last year's team had that not a lot of high school teams get, like really good teams and I was on really good teams where when we would play, just less talented teams, we would kind of take a step back, and sometimes we lost those games because of it.
Yep.
This team, y'all went to all the games. Like, there may have been quarters where it was like, all right, just lay off the gas a little bit, but every game every game it was trying to make a statement. And as coaches, we would talk all the time, like, yes, we know they didn't go, but we also got to focus on McKinney Boyd like Friday. We have to. We got to focus on playing on what, like, it was tough for us too.
And that's why I knew they were going to be elite, because they never overlooked the team. Whether it was Princeton, whether it was McKinney Boyd, whoever we were playing, like, they were so dialed into the scouting report. And as a staff, I think we did a really good job of making. Our goal wasn't always to win that game. Our goal was to keep turnovers under this. Yeah. We want this many deflections, and we would have 5 or 6 goals that we would try to get. Yeah. So we would play games within the games, and I think that kept the players very focused, very present,
And with the whole team again, like you had the guys at the bench who did everything that the guys who played a lot.
Yeah.
And they would joke. There was a couple of them I remember. They'd all before games they'd be like, hey, Neil, come on, y'all got to get up big so I can get, and kind of joke and laugh with them. But then like our guys wanted that though too.
Yeah.
And then when they would come out, they'd be like, hey, we're at 9 turnovers. Y'all don't turn it over because we don't want to hit that threshold. Yeah. But they were there cheering them on, like just.
And that's like that is something that the public doesn't know about.
Right.
For example, if you want to keep 10 turnovers, we don't know that's your goal for the game,
Right.
But that's cool to hear that y'all have stuff like that. Because, like you said, there were times, first quarter especially, you're like, guys, what are y'all doing?
Yeah.
Or there's games like the Prosper game where you score.
Yeah, it was 50-7 at halftime.
Yeah, 50-7 at halftime, and you're like, how does that even happen?
Yeah.
I mean,
and that goes to his point where, because they're stud, we didn't find out till like warm-ups before the game he's not dressed and like he's hurt, and so you think like, oh, do our guys be like, oh, like because he was the focus of the scout, and do they relax? No, they're like, hey, we're coming for blood.
It was the Keller game, the first game of the year. They're like number 7, we're number 1. Their point guard, we didn't know. I mean, we're planning on playing the whole team. They had a pretty good point guard, and right before the game, we see dude on crutches, and we're like. And instead of our guys obviously like, oh, yeah, we got these guys, it was more like they smelled blood, and we turned them over 44 times. Was it 46?
That was wild.
Like 60
It was 44 times.
Yeah.
So we beat them 100 to like 60 or something. It was like, oh.
Yeah, there wasn't none of this in that game.
We're early. We're trying to get our legs.
Calling them up.
I'm like, get us 100.
Yeah, I actually went back and watched our podcast last year right before playoffs started. Y'all had an off night, and you came on Saturday, and that's one of the things you did is don't tell it, get rid of this.
Yeah, I remember.
Let them score.
Stop doing this.
How many times did we get to 98 or
Oh,
96?
my God.
Y'all were like, come on.
First off, I gave him chances. If it's under a minute, we're no. Y'all ruined the chance.
And then he would kind of look back at us, make sure we weren't looking, then he'd be like this, do this thing.
We'd be like, oh,
Come on!
No free wings for us.
yeah, no free wins. It's just fun. It's fun for the kids. I mean, under the kids, when they, again, 100 points is 100 points, but the kids get 100, they're like, they all go nuts.
It's
and the
amazing.
fans, it's just, so keep that up.
Well, Boston
Keep
lets
that
me have it when we don't score.
Oh, there you go. Well, good.
I get it from
We taught him well.
Wednesday.
We taught him well.
Yeah. Gotta stop letting them hang out with you guys.
How many times has he taken you to Country Burger?
That's true.
I don't know, but it was me and who was it? You were there? Mm-hmm. And James was there. We took Boston to Country Burger. Y'all got to hear the story because it cracks me up. And so we were just talking to Boston about life, And I said, Boston, you ride a bike? He goes, yeah. I said, how often do you ride it? He goes, I don't know. I said, why not? He goes, I don't know where my bike is. I'm like, well, why not? He goes, because it's in the garage. I said, well, he goes, our garage is a mess.
Tell me more.
We need to have him around more often.
He was fun, great kid, by the way. But he was tough.
Good job, Lindsay.
Yeah, good job with that.
Thank goodness.
All right, as we look forward, I just want to run down these names. Antonio Shannon, Antoine Shannon, DJ Thomas, Trent Payne, Nnamdi Ubawiki, Khalil Walker, and Isaiah Dozier.
Yes.
Those are the guys that are not here anymore.
And Nathan Zerbe.
Yeah.
And Zerbe.
Well, Zerbe. I was looking at the 7 of your top 8 as well. I put Zerbe down as well. But
8 seniors total.
so I started to say this, and maybe I won't say it, but
You can say it.
it's
Laughing like, now I want to know.
we always talk, and we jokingly say, we could have coached that team last year because of the cohesiveness of it and the players.
Foreshadow.
Yeah. While you did, and I know y'all coach hard and you work hard with your kids to get them to that point, it's a little different this year, I would imagine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just a little or a lot?
Well, you just don't have, like, what made that group special. They experienced some really tough games together for several years. They experienced tough losses together, and they understood why we lost those games or what separates us from getting to that next point. This team hasn't yet done it by that, of, like, really feeling it and being in the light and having the game experience. They got to see it and they got to hear it, but getting the actual game experience of that is a little different. So they just don't have the experience, I would say, of last year's group. Well, no group will.
Sure.
Just because they played on varsity for several games. Trent had 100-plus wins as a player. DJ and those guys were 70, 75-plus wins. So when you get to play at that level that many years in a row, you're just going to have that experience and understanding for what it takes. So we just have to grow them up in different ways, I would say.
It's a lot more like clicking the reset button too. I think it's like when you have those guys like the twins, like you're kind of just starting where you left off.
Yep.
Now it's just brand new, and it's and you're just teaching them, and like guys like Neo and Austin, those guys like they're having to also lead and show like what a varsity practice has to look like, and that was like a wake up call for us too, of being like, all right, yeah, we got to go back to like square one on the culture stuff too.
And I made a comment. So his senior year, we were really, really good. We just came off of a state semi-appearance, and that next year we had a whole new team. And I made a mistake as a young coach, thinking like that next group would just pick right back up. Like they'll know how to practice hard. They'll know how to do the intangibles. They'll know how to be a good teammate. They'll know how to share the ball because they got to see it every day.
Yeah.
And they were on our sub-varsities who were doing it. But it took about halfway through the season, and we lost some games we shouldn't have, where we had to say, no, we have to reteach everything. So we kind of took the approach of, no, we have to start back from ground zero and reteach our culture. Reteach, and don't take anything for granted. Like, you have to basically just make sure that they know exactly how to do what we're trying to get them to do. And we've had to do that some. And,
not assume.
It's really just a new challenge. I mean, it's a new group, like totally new group. I mean, you got Neo Lawrence coming back, which pretty good guy to have back. I mean,
if I can pick
if I can pick somebody
a point
like
guard, leader,
he's your quarterback.
See your new center.
He's
I don't know if we have one of those.
post-up.
He wants to.
That's the most post-ups, by
He
the way.
does have the most post-ups on our team right now.
He said he wants to.
But having him back obviously is huge, just to be able to lead, more than anything, and show.
Can we talk about him for a minute? I know a lot of coaches don't want to call out individual players, but
Committed to Hampton, by the way.
he did commit to Hampton, which is fantastic for him. Great for him to have that opportunity. But just as my take on Neo, and again, he's been around since a freshman, and we were like, when he showed up, it's kind of like when Trent showed up as a freshman. You're like, okay, we got freshmen. There's something there. But what a great kid he is. I mean, smiles all the time. I've seen him. He loves getting pictures made with the kids who absolutely love him. He'll talk to anybody.
Yep.
And that's one of the things that I really appreciate as teenagers, because we deal with the football team a lot, and we try to get like last night we ran into Carter Harris at the football game, and Carter's a great kid, but Carter is not outgoing at all. Trying to get Carter to have a conversation with you, but Neo will talk to you. He'll talk to you about anything, and he's a great leader.
Yep.
And he's tenacious as I'll get out. And just what a fantastic kid. Whatever he does in life, I have a feeling he's going to be fine.
And I tell people all the time, like, I could not show up, and I think all the coaches could just like take the year off, and I think they would still be in good hands because Neo is there. And just he's the best leader I've ever been around. One of the best competitors I've ever been around. And he literally everything you want in a kid, or even in a son, or in a human being, like he really possesses it. And obviously, being the small guy, I'm favorable towards. It's cool to see his story, but
how come?
Little challenges of life, but just to see him overcome these things and never look for excuses, and he makes everybody around him better. And the coolest part, I would say, this year, like he could have every reason to be like, "Hey, this is my year. I'm going to try to do it all by myself," or he could get really frustrated with guys when they're not living up to the standards that we have yet. But instead, he's so patient, and he never gets upset, and he's coaching guys along. And when he's not in, he's coaching guys on the sidelines. So just to see it even take a step more is
with
really
that
a
smile.
lead.
I talked to him a lot about. He has this thing that says odds are overrated, and I don't know if I don't think I've said this to many people except for these guys, but there's this website kind of that does this like. It's like a database of every college basketball player that's ever played by their height and like all this stuff. There's only been 32 players under 5'5", 5'6", 5'5", that have played Division I basketball since 1985.
Wow.
And actually logged like real minutes, 5 minutes. I'm like, dude, you're talking about 40 years.
Yeah.
It's like less than one a year.
Yeah.
So there's 350 Division I basketball teams out there, and so I was like, dude, you're one of those guys, like, and you're gonna impact. He's actually gonna play, so it's pretty unique, I would say.
Well,
Yeah.
Speak it into existence,
Yeah.
live it into existence. That's nice.
I mean, his I call him the general because he literally, when he's on the court and he's got the ball, bringing it down, he's telling players, here, doing this and stuff. And I mean, we can see it. I think I think the normal. Yeah, we'll go to a game. We don't know that much about basketball. We'll go to a game type fan that, probably doesn't see it. But just to be, I've been enamored with Neo for the last couple of years. Just seeing him on the court and his presence there, always a freaking smile on that kid's face, no matter what. And I think his teammates always just feed off of that as well too.
They do.
So, yeah.
I think he just wants what's so special about him. It's like you said, like he knows what he is, but he wants everybody around him to be better. And it's even like last year he would talk to me about the JV team and like different guys. Like, and I in my head I always thought he just knew some of these guys were going to be his teammates.
Yeah.
But this year, even still, like we practice together a lot, varsity and JV, and we'll go against each other, and Neo will talk to them and tell them, and like he's not gonna ever play with them.
Yeah.
Coach him up. And
he tries to coach them up. He'll try to go to me and say something. We go back and forth at each other. Like he just wants literally everybody to.
You better not get a big head for this.
No, he won't.
Yeah.
That's just him. I mean, my sister was moving, single mom and stuff, and asked if anyone helped. Man, he shows up, Cool. Several of them did. I mean, he'll like, if his car, he had some car trouble, he's called me before. Like, but he'll turn around and he's picked up kids that have had issues, like with transportation or something. Like, it's just him with any,
Yeah, you wish you had a dozen of them.
Oh,
Well, maybe not all 5, 6, but a dozen.
I'd be curious to see how far we could actually go with a team full of.
Yeah.
5, 6 is generous, by the way.
Yeah. Well, it's when he lets his hair grow.
Right.
I will say, because I know we're going to get to it, but like we're talking about last year's team, all these guys, Neo returning, like when you have a JV like we had last year and a freshman team that lost, 1 game all year, JV lost like maybe 2, right? 3 games. You do sleep a little bit better at night when you show up and you're like, all right, who we got coming up? Yeah. It's like, we got Tyson, we got an NBA Hall of Famer son, like on our team, like he's gonna be pretty good. And you know they don't have the experience, but it's like we got talent, we got guys that know how to win, and even though they haven't done it at this level yet, like they're gonna figure it out.
Well, it's the stuff we talk about in the sub-varsity practice all the time. Like because that's what our job is. It ain't about the wins. It's like you gotta get ready for that. And so they'll do things and be like, hey, you can get away with that here, but like you're trying to get to that, where it matters. Like you can't get away with that, and that goes to that experience, that we talk about it. So people will say like, are y'all gonna be any good? Like, yes, we have very talented kids, but that experience, because that one person who misses the rotation or like doesn't do it doesn't hurt you at JV or freshman, like that's a layup on the other end, or that's and that stuff, and then which is we talked about it. That's the exciting part with this, because we had to figure out different ways of coaching with the little in-game games within the game, but now it's like we can go back and like we're like having from the square one, the culture, all that stuff that we enjoy doing, and like
Well, and we know your coaching style. You've been here. This will be year 5, as we talked about earlier, and we've seen the coaching style and the intensity in which the kids have to play, or they're sitting on the bench. And I think it'll be interesting to see a bunch of new guys roll into those roles, and to see which one of those are going to step up. To get to that point. Y'all are with them every day. You know them a lot better than we do. They all came to the week. Oh, by the way, thank you for the tailgate 2 weeks ago.
Tailgate was so awesome.
Tailgate was great. We won Tailgate of the Week from Texas Football Life. Awesome. So thank y'all for being there. It made it a big part of that. But all these people came up, and I was talking to James about it, and I was like, I don't know you. I don't know you. I can't.
Oh
I may
my
have
gosh.
introduced myself. Yeah. You know, and it's just like, okay, I've seen you on JV. You know,
Yeah.
it's.
Yeah.
And now you're varsity, but are you really? We don't know.
Yeah.
it.
But it'll be
Feel
interesting
it
to see which one of those, or how many of them. We know all of them are going to play hard and they're going to play intense, but who's going to be the next group of 7?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know,
2 seniors?
Yeah. What's your how's
Five.
that going to?
Shion, Neo, Cade,
Austin.
Jacob.
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 I think that's
Five.
5 seniors.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to be playing a lot of younger kids.
Yeah.
It'll
When
be
I
a
say
good
younger,
mix.
lot of
Yeah,
juniors,
2
lot of juniors and
sophomores.
Two
Yeah.
sophomores.
Okay.
Yeah.
Both will play a lot. 2 sophomores really
Yeah.
good. And then a good group of juniors with 7. So
Yeah.
8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
So
size.
a large group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when
Lot
you
of
look,
length.
you look at that and go, that is one thing I noticed.
Yeah.
And I
We
was
do have
cooking, so I
length
couldn't.
time.
But every time I was like, it's like looking up.
Oh, they come up to me and I'm like,
But yeah,
They're much taller in person than they are
They
when
really-
you're sitting up in the stands.
sitting up in the stands, you don't get the perception.
Yeah.
The perception is really skewed of how tall those guys are. You know, and we come in the locker room obviously, and you know, you get in there and you, hi DJ. You know, yeah.
And I'll tell you a really cool thing that I love doing, and not a lot. I would say some programs do it, but not all. Every group you have, it's always a little different because we can't recruit kids like colleges can. So we can't recruit kids to play in our system or like.
Sure about that?
Yeah, I'm 100%.
Remember all that booster club money we were talking about?
Come on. But like Syracuse, you know, they run a 2-3 zone. They can recruit size to do that. So each year we have to figure out, all right, this is the nucleus we have and what fits them. And what fit last year's group isn't going to necessarily fit this group. We don't have DJ to throw it inside to.
Yep.
But we have Tyson Chandler and we have Gio, who are more pick and pop threats and who can shoot it a little bit better and who have a little bit more guard skills. So finding unique ways to tweak our system is always really fun to me because it's a new challenge and it gives me something to look forward to and gives me something to
what a concept. You coach with what you have.
Flexible, yeah.
Yeah.
And you've got, and especially in basketball, you have to be. I think in football, it's a different because you can, like you said, you can recruit, or and y'all run
No,
this.
we don't
doesn't recruit.
We don't do that.
Let's not use that word.
Trust me, we
I
have
was
no
thinking
UIL
college
people
more than I
watching
was.
this
Yeah,
podcast.
well, we say that with DeSoto.
Yeah.
You can attract. You can attract.
Yeah, to know that okay, this is what I've got. What's the best way to utilize it?
Yeah, absolutely.
and it may not be what you said, what you ran last year or what you ran 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's just
Well, and that's been the thing I've enjoyed the most once he's got here and these guys and Slim and Man. Because in previous years, you know, our style was a little different. We ran a lot of the same stuff, and there was even, you know, some kids who would talk about like I'm not comfortable, like, you know, the tweaking to that.
Right.
So he comes in, and I remember in the first meeting, he's like, you know, every kid in our program is going to be able to, you know, pass, dribble, shoot, finish.
Yeah.
We're going to teach them reads, know when to do it, why they're doing it, and how to do it. It's like, and then, you know, go out there and play, and I'm like, this guy's won this many games because I hadn't known anything, you know, different. And then, but that's then like seeing it, like we teach all that, like those things, and then the intangibles, the togetherness, the intensity, the toughness, and then from year to year we can, because I mean we tweaked some things last year from the year before, you know, just to where now it's like what's going to get these kids the most success, and they still know those skills and you know the whys and the hows and stuff, and you know playing hard, and then you can just change little things that get them the most success, and it keeps it fresh for them, keeps it fresh for us, because now it's like you're learning something new and you're teaching something new, and you know big picture it's not way different, but it's just little things here that can, you know, give them more success and be, you know, happier and confident in themselves, and then now all that other stuff kind of follows with it.
Yeah, because I imagine if you went, and again, it's similar, but if you went to the freshman game and the JV game and the varsity game, even though you think, okay, y'all are all running the same things, it may look a little different because of the personnel that you've got.
And there's phases to it too.
Yeah.
Like we might say, all right, with the freshman level, say there's 4 phases in offense. We want you guys doing phase 1 and phase 2. By the time you get to the JV level, these are the concepts. You can get to phase 3. By the time we build it to the varsity level, it will look like phase 4.
Yeah.
Crazy thought of doing basic skills, and teaching.
Yeah.
them.
Well, and we'll do that,
Yeah,
and I'll
yeah.
tell them, like, because again, like, wins are like, yes, they keep score. We want to win, but this is what our program, this is what Allen basketball is. So we're gonna like do that. We're gonna play full court, like, and you're either going to like learn to do it and trust yourself and get after it, and like be able to continue on, or like we're gonna lose them. Then it's like you gotta. These are things you have to change to like keep going and stuff. And
The game of basketball has changed a little bit too. So like obviously, what colleges are looking for now, players like you want to help these guys. Like we have more than one goal. We want to win the state championship, but we also want to help these guys position themselves to be ready. And so we try to make every single player be able to, like Coach was saying, dribble, pass, shoot. Like no matter how tall you are, no matter like we want you to, because you know how the game is played now.
Because how many times did DJ run the break last year?
Right,
You know,
everybody's got to be able to handle it. Everybody's got to be able to shoot it. But you know, one thing that's never going to change is like how competitive are you, how hard you play. You talk about that intensity level. Like we want when people play Allen, like it's got to feel a little different. You know, like and we're still getting there with the group right now. We've taken some huge strides these last 2 weeks. Like it's just understanding like. And we play a lot of games. Like it's not like football where you get one game, and like you undefeated. A lot of teams go undefeated. You know, like here it's hard. Like you lose one game, it's for us. It's like a stab in the heart. You know, it's like, but you have 35. No one goes undefeated. I mean, very few teams do it. You know, and so
if you're playing our schedule.
Yes. There's plenty of teams we play. So you're gonna have some bumps, but like just understanding the learning intensity that it takes. Like to
and he brought it up a little bit about the full court press. I mean, that was something I think that set Allen apart. I mean, from right at the tip off,
it's just normal operating procedure, and the other teams are like,
and these teams, and I got they scouted it, and they know they had film on it and so forth. But it would always catch, like we talked about Marcus, they got the ball, and all of a sudden, I'll take that, and and it just set the tone of that game. But that
for
right
them,
off
they
the
can't
bat.
simulate it in practice. Like, you can try.
Yeah.
So some coaches would text us or after and talk and say, hey, when we play you guys, we put 12 people on the court to simulate, or we put 7 or 8. Like we put because we can't simulate it with 5 how fast you guys are and how you rotate. So it's kind of cool to
There was a game.
That's a huge compliment.
Yeah, it is, absolutely.
There was a game where, I don't remember which game it was. It was a district game, but we were winning by a lot, and it's probably, we're winning by a lot, and it was like 2.5, 3 minutes left, and Sip looks back at us, and he goes, "We stopped pressing," and we were like, "Yeah," and then he goes for like another 30 seconds, and then. Like, Sip, we can stop pressing. And he was like, what do I say? Like, we don't have a call.
You don't have a call.
Like, we were just like, we had a call timeout. I was like, hey, guys, let's just.
We don't have a half-court call. Like,
which is great because when I was at Sulphur and we played, like, it was like, we were only pressing if we were down with 50 seconds left. Yeah. Like, we were just super disciplined.
We went years and never had to press in.
Yeah, it was just like, it was, we were an incredible defensive team. And it was completely. So I remember him calling me in college. And I was like, "So are they like still disciplined?" He was like, "Oh, it's chaos. We just press." Like, you press? He goes, "Yeah, that's all I do. Just press." I was like, "There's no way." He was like, "You got to come." When I watched, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I've never seen."
Well, what's awesome is like the first time that the freshmen and JV practiced together, and we went live a little bit against each other. And it's 3rd week of school, maybe 4th week, and we get out there, and they're pressing the crap out of us, and like the guys are gonna get. I'm like, gee, like, do you think I've gone over any sort of press? And he looks at me, and goes, I didn't tell him to, and I was like, and it just kind of makes you like smile, like because those are all the guys I had like. That's all they know. That's what they
standard.
And they were doing it and doing it right and doing it. It's not like they've been working on press, but they were like because they know that's Allen basketball. That's how we play and so what we do. And I was like,
It's a fun way to play.
And I was like,
hopefully
so I wasn't as upset.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see too, like in open gyms. Like I used to hate not even watching, just I'd be up there. Like open gyms, guys don't, everybody plays slow. They cherry pick. But when we have open gyms, like they pick up full court and they press and they run our stuff. So I think that just allows us, for the player development standpoint, just keep growing it.
I think so. I mean, you think about football, like teams that just sling it and put up points. Like that's fun to watch, right? Maybe the equivalent. I don't know. I'm trying to think of another sport maybe where,
but you love great defense too.
You do. You appreciate it, right? And when you're pressing the whole game, it's almost like a video game, right? It's like the old NBA Jam or NBA, like you're just going up and shoving them and taking it and scoring it. Like
nothing gets a team and a fan base going than that perfect turnover.
Yeah.
And taking it to the
domination.
and then just putting it down through the rim and so forth. And you saw that 4, 5, 6, 7 times a game with this.
Yeah. And we've tweaked the press a little bit. I want to see if you guys, when we start playing, if you guys can see the tweak. When I come back on, just to see if you notice a difference with this group, because they are different. They have a little bit more length.
So we have homework. I guess.
Oh my gosh.
We've got a responsibility. Don't bother me. I've got a responsibility.
When we're done, just remind us your accommodations again, so we can.
Well, I got a question for you guys. You're talking about technique.
Yep.
And talking about the game, and you've got game experience, which gets them more in sync with each other. What do you do kind of outside of the game experience? Because I believe shared experience is what builds that camaraderie and stuff. And so you can do it in game. What else do you do? What else do you work with? And does some of that come naturally for the kids because they're in school together and
pick up
we're
trash.
there all the time.
Yeah.
We spend a lot of time with our kids. And I would say some programs, like when school's over, like everybody just goes home.
Yeah.
Like our kids love sitting in the locker room with each other after. We have a ping pong table in our locker room. I mean, they'll sit up there for 2 hours after and play ping pong. But it's just that, just that time we're spending together and we're doing different things. Like Coach Blakely set up, we partnered with Keep Allen Beautiful a couple weeks ago, and we're picking up trash and we're serving and just learning how to do things together to make each other better and how to serve together and how to spend time. We'll go on a team retreat here in a few weeks and once again get to spend some just good quality time with each other. But
we need to crash it.
Come on, well you're invited. More than invited.
All we got to do is know when it is. We'll show you. Us. We'll show.
So I think the more time you just spend together, whether it's really the off the court stuff.
Right.
I think that just builds the closeness, and that's what last year's group has, and that's what this group is going to have. So
we put a big emphasis on eating together. Like that's a huge, like literally breaking bread, sitting across the table, having a conversation, no phone,
not connected umbilically to the phone.
This is how you get to know people, right? And this is how you. And we did talk about the other day in practice a couple days ago. Like, hey, I hope that you call him 20 years from now when you're going through something really hard. Or I hope that you call him when it's time for your wedding, and you want to, like we talked about. They may not see it right now, but like you're going to be really, really close with the guys that you're looking at, and a lot of that is shared difficult experience too, like getting through something really hard together, or maybe losing a game, or going through some boot camp, obstacle courses. Like, hey, we're gonna break your spirit, but you're gonna have to come together. Lots of those things that we do.
I mean, I can see all the guys from last year's team that have moved on. They've probably still got a big old group text going on.
They do.
Well, just like he said, one of the twins just called you. It's cool. Well, we know y'all have a game at 2 today. Y'all playing over, I guess, Frisco Reedy first, and then you play over 4 Jesuit. Nice. At least you're not playing at their place, man. That place. You know what? It is cool. You got to get
last year's team.
And those boys.
I love the environment.
Oh yeah, we said like when we play them, like let's not go like home and home. Like we'll come to you every time. We'll deal with that parking and stuff.
It's just like they're so obnoxious. It's awesome.
Yeah. This year we won't go there this year, but we go to Highland Park, who has.
Oh, do we?
We are.
That's great.
We haven't talked about the schedule yet.
November 18th, I think, and like their environment. I've never been there. I think he's played there because he's good friends with the head coach.
I've never been.
I thought y'all played
there.
there.
I played as a high school player. We played at Highland Park. It was good student section.
You always see that environment there, seems, because it's a smaller gym and stuff. I'm looking forward to that.
I I was going to say, I want to announce, you and I have talked this year, because it's hard to do podcasts with you guys because you 2 games a week and you're always practicing that. But we're going to do, we talked about it, we're going to do just a quick 15, 20 minute, Zoom call or something. We're going to call it Sipping with Sip. You guys are welcome to join. We'll just send out, and we're going to do it either Sunday or Monday night. Perfect. And we'll talk about the past 2 games for the past week and what's upcoming. I love it. Nice. We're going to do that. We'll split the start date on that. So we'll have that put out there. So
Sunday would probably be better, unless it's like Monday at like 9.
Yeah, I mean, I'll let y'all decide. We're flexible, and again, it's a Zoom call, so you ain't got to show up here. But we'll do that, and we'll talk about it because we want to promote you guys more. And then we talked about it. I was like, how can we do it? Yeah. And again, all y'all are welcome to jump on and just talk about it. It may go longer than 15 or 20 minutes, depending on what's going on and what's going to go. We're going to do that.
And how much grab assing we end up doing.
Yeah, exactly. But
it's going to be virtual.
Yeah. So, what day does your season officially start?
Is it
29th November?
29th.
October 29th is first official practice.
3 weeks from Wednesday.
And which game are we coaching?
Game.
Today, I thought y'all were going at 2:04.
Y'all coach in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Hawaii.
Yeah. Are you going?
All right, here's the deal.
Expensive tickets.
I have my wife has a timeshare. I've got it booked.
Okay.
So, and my daughter lives out in Hawaii, and so it's one of those deals where that could be North Crowley football weekend.
Oh, that's right.
And so it's like,
sorry guys, you're going to take second.
I've already bought 3 Hawaiian shirts.
Well, we got to get some.
I've got a couple for you.
Do you have an extra
You need
room
to get
there
the Hawaiian shirts that
available
have the Allen
at your
Eagle
time?
logo.
Yeah.
And
That would be.
and
We could do that.
We'll talk after.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that'd be cool.
I told my daughter I was coming, and then I'm just like, oh man, it's Crowley. Do I really want to miss it? Because that'd be the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
And so I'm stuck. But if they don't make it there, I'll buy a ticket the week before I'll be there. I'm looking. I booked. I've got your schedule here. You got all these tournaments y'all are playing.
Yeah.
Showcases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
You
We're
know.
excited. We're going to
Oklahoma City.
Noble. Yeah.
Nice.
The Oklahoma City one. We're going to play a team out of New York, one of the top teams out of New York, and then we're going to actually play the host team.
Okay.
So that would be a really
Playing
fun.
one of the top
Now, was
teams in
that the Pride of
Arkansas.
Eastside or is that
Yeah.
the Noble?
Pride of
Eastside.
Eastside.
Noble's
The
in
Noble,
Arlington.
that's what we did last year at the Colony.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Played that in-
But now this one,
Noble
they've
Center.
expanded that a little bit, and so they're having a couple of them, and so
that's
that one's
why
at.
it's a home game.
So it's not now.
Oh,
We
changed.
were going to host it, but with the renovations and stuff, they moved it to Arlington Martin.
Yeah.
And we're going to play one of the top prep schools out of Arkansas.
This year's
What
schedule.
date is that?
14th and 15th.
We'll have a lot
Friday,
of
Saturday.
out-of-state teams.
Yeah. We'll probably have more out-of-state teams this
Probably
year.
like 7 out-of-state teams this year, which is great.
At the Classic?
Just total
Just in general,
the season,
yeah.
like
For us.
Arkansas prep. We'll play New York. We'll play Oklahoma. We'll play like 3 out in Hawaii from California.
Yeah.
One in the in and out.
And then in and out, we
Yeah.
could see the
Go to.
California squad.
Cool.
So it'd be cool.
Well, we're looking forward to it. And I hope the community responds like I'm hoping they will, because that was so cool to see. And again, we've been around for years, and so we've been there when there's been a ton of people. We've been there where there's not so many. And you could just see it as the season progressed last year. You'd get there, and
People didn't know
people were
where
in
we
my
sat.
seat. I was like, what's going on here?
Hey.
I'm like, but that's cool, and it's cool for the kids. It's cool for y'all, and people saw some great basketball. And I think that the expectation again, you got to earn your money this year, brother. You know,
Yeah, absolutely. We talk about it all the time,
Coach.
right at the top of our practice script. We got to earn our check today.
Yeah.
So, we gotta coach.
Just so you know, too, I'm sure y'all are going to let us do our player of the game thing. My son has designed a new magnet for you guys.
Oh, that's
so
great.
it's
excited.
actually more basketball related. So
Nice.
We're gonna need an extra one because I know Trent's gonna want one.
All the guys took their
it's-
magnets with them.
it is-
Yeah, that's
it
what's
is-
funny is they left some of the other stuff, but them
No, those
magnets,
magnets
they
right
were
there
gone.
are mine.
it's amazing, because we do it with the football team too. And we go in after the games, and you walk in there, and those guys just start looking at you like, "You coming to my locker?" You know, LeBron the other night.
Where's my magnet?
I get one right. I blocked the punt. I'm like, it's funny to see that, and it's just a magnet. But the kids love the recognition, and we, we
Love to
want
give it
honor
to
them
them, man.
for what
We
they
enjoy
do.
I think it's
watching
cool
so
too. Is y'all
much.
get it's a fan like we get because we get the toughie player.
Yeah.
From like the coach's standpoint, and it's usually like kind of like this dude took 3 charges. Like,
Yeah.
let's get to him.
You look at it
it's
a little
cool, like a
different
fan.
way.
Like,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I do
aspect
too.
of
You
it.
know, when 5'6" Neo blocks a shot at the rim, he's getting them out.
He's getting
Yeah,
them
right.
I still remember
Yeah.
him coming off the court. He looks at it. He's smiling. Oh, still smiling. He sits down and he looks over at me and Gene. He goes, "Y'all seen me get that, right?" we were like,
To experience those moments,
we were like,
I'm standing.
"Yes, Neo,
Yes.
we saw."
We
He
saw.
was like,
Yeah.
"I pinned it."
Yeah, he did.
That was a pretty cool
And
moment.
our comment in the stands is like, can you imagine that kid that just got stuffed?
Oh, I'd be
what
so
his
upset.
day at school is going to be like
Oh,
tomorrow?
my God.
Oh my God.
Bless his heart.
I know.
Yeah, it's just stuff like that. You know. But we have a lot of fun, and we appreciate all y'all did last year and what a great run it was. And I'll give you this compliment that I know you don't know about, but at the Duncanville game last year, 2 of the high-profile referees that called a lot of Allen games that weren't calling that game showed up.
Yeah.
And I went up and talked to them, and they were just like, this is one of the best basketball teams we ever saw. And I went up at halftime because there were some questionable calls in that game.
Yeah.
The
one
big
on
one at
DJ.
the end.
Yeah.
Well, the one on DJ where he caught the ball and he was coming down, they called a charge on
Yeah.
him. You know, those guys were like, y'all are getting screwed here. And coming from those guys,
Yeah.
not that we always agree with everything
Respect,
they
though.
say,
I mean, yeah.
you know.
Oh, of course we did.
Yeah. We're like, y'all wouldn't make that call, would you?
No.
But just to hear it from people who are outsiders looking in, you know, they came to that game because of they knew what they were going to see,
Yeah.
and they wanted
wanted
to
to
see
see
it.
it, yeah.
It's pretty cool when that kind of stuff happens.
And I hope like the community and people like that aren't in our program, I know they see what we did,
Yeah.
but they appreciate the how we did it
Yeah.
and who we became in the process of doing it. It was just really the most special.
Well, and I think that's what all of us have learned
Yeah.
being closer to the program.
Yeah.
You know, people think we know everything.
We
don't.
definitely appreciate it.
But just to
Yeah.
see what y'all are doing with the kids to get them to that point, and you know, boot camp. That's not easy.
no,
You know,
it's not.
it is not.
It's not, you know, and just how intense. Like there was a picture this week of you squatting, and I was like, oh my gosh, I could
friends
do
have roasted
so
me.
much of that with that thing that I did.
I've received
With
about
the
50 minutes already.
paper.
I'm getting killed. My mom even sent me one. Oh, what are you doing?
Figure out,
Have you seen it?
figure out who posted
It's not
it.
It's
a
funny.
funny picture of me.
Remember the Prosper?
We'll make that.
The Prosper Tunnel.
Yeah.
Remember what we
Yeah.
always say about the Prosper Tunnel?
Yeah, it looks
that the
like
eagle
he's
looks like.
squatting to take a.
That's what it looks like going on here.
It was not.
Well, we can make that the front picture.
Oh,
for
we'll make
this
it the
episode.
podcast.
Probably could do some wondrous things with that.
Yeah,
Oh my
exactly.
AI memes, we love it.
But we look forward to
Be back at the throne.
getting back.
That was good. That was good.
So again, we appreciate you guys.
Yes, no, we appreciate you guys.
I did see
That's,
that one.
We're all working together in this thing.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming out, and we look forward to the season getting rolling. And you know, if you need us,
Can't
we're
wait.
here. We will do a
Be here
dinner
before
here
you know
again
it.
if y'all want.
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
That'd be
Some
It'll be
food.
fun.
We'll make that
It'll be a
happen.
lot of fun.
So
Exciting.
again, appreciate it. Look forward to the season. Again, October 29th. What's the first game?
14th.
14th of November. Is that one of these?
It's Noble.
The Noble.
The Noble.
Oh, the Noble.
Yeah.
We'll play Jesuit the first
Yeah,
day.
actually played
and-
Jesuit.
Like the 18th.
And then the
And that's in
Arkansas.
Arlington.
Arkansas.
Yes, and then the next day we play
Is that-
New School, Arkansas.
Is that Saturday? The 14th?
Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
So
we'll
first
have,
round playoff
we'll have
will
an
be
exhibition
Friday,
the week
probably.
before on the 8th
Okay.
at UT Arlington. We're not sure who we play yet. It might be DeSoto. We're still figuring it out.
Interesting.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
That'll be fun.
We said,
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
Pressure.
Well, again, appreciate you coming by. Alan is at Princeton this week, 7 o'clock. Get there early.
Shoot.
Get you a seat. And Eagles will continue their role as football rolls on.
Special season.
It very well may be. So, again, thanks for all y'all do for the program, and appreciate you being our friends. Whether Lee thinks we're his friends or not.
No, family. It's
Yeah,
family.
exactly. So, until next
That's what
week,
you
folks,
guys do.
Yeah, thank
it's
you.
over, and we are